So let's do this. Take a standard size block and put it right under your back, right under your shoulder blades, and lean back. Now, if it feels okay on your body to take your arms overhead, you can do that. And we'll pause there for a moment. Although there's some sort of video problem. Good. Hi, Cynthia. Perfect.
Hey, we're getting a big thunderstorm, so hopefully the internet holds up.
Oh, weird. It's totally normal here.
Yeah, it might be coming your way. I'm not sure which way it's going. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Well, if I drop off suddenly, we'll know why. Big thunderstorms. So we're taking supported fish. And oftentimes we take this pose in a very restorative way, and we probably will do that towards the end of class, but right now we're going to play with the upper back and shoulder muscle integration. So you may need to clear a little bit of space behind you and around you so that your elbows can be overhead. And we're gonna play. So take a breath in here. With your exhale, try to bring your elbows down by your side body and lift your head up. On an inhale, reach your arms long overhead, let your head come back down. On your exhale, your elbows will hug in and you'll slowly coil your low ribs up. So this is upper abdominals, but it's also probably readjusting the block into the intercostals or the muscles between the ribs each time. We'll do that a few more times. So on your inhale, you'll reach the arms up, moving slow. Let your head touch down. Your arms can go overhead. With your exhale, hug your elbows in. If your head needs more support, you can interlace your hands behind your head, but still try to get the sense of wrapping the elbows in towards your side or in around your head. On your inhale, you'll reach back. On your exhale, you'll draw in. We'll do that 2 more times on your own, so you can take either variation, inhaling and exhaling. One more time. Breath in. Breath out. This time as you inhale, if you need to adjust your rib cage a little bit or find a new spot for the block to sort of dig in a little bit, as you come back, do feel free to make adjustments, but we'll pause with the arms overhead, allowing the breath to create a sense of space across the chest-shoulder junction and the front line of the body. Excuse me. Take a breath in and a breath out. Now leave your left hand exactly as it is. On your inhale, get strong through your right arm, reach it high, straight up. With your exhale, you'll bring the hand down towards your hip, the right hand. This time as you inhale, with just your right arm, you'll do the same action as a sun salutation when you sweep your arms up. So you'll inhale your right arm out and up, noticing where the block sort of catches. And with your exhale, you'll reach straight up and slowly bring the hand back down. You can take 3 more of these circles, and any sort of gentle integration that the body is requesting is a good idea. So you'll inhale out and up. Exhale, wrapping in towards the ceiling and bringing the hand back down towards your hip. Inhale out and up. Exhale, straight up and straight down. Inhaling. And exhaling. One last time. This time as you inhale, let your right arm stop overhead. And with your exhale, wrap your left arm in, send it straight up and down by your hip. And we'll start the same action on the second side. You might notice that there's more of a change or adjustment happening in the chest-shoulder junction into the back line on one side than the other. That's okay. On your inhale, you'll sweep the left arm out to the side and overhead. On your exhale, up towards the ceiling and down towards your hips. We'll take a few more. I'm just going to slide my body a smidge away from the wall, so hopefully I can have a little more fluidity. Inhaling out and up. Exhaling towards the ceiling and down to the hip. Inhale. And exhale. Moving at your own pace, at your own breath. Take 2 or 3 more. And if there's a spot that it feels nice to linger in, you can always do that. This next time, or when you feel complete and your left arm is reaching overhead, pause for a moment, take a breath in and a breath out. We'll take one more breath in here, and with your exhale, round or press your shoulder blades back into the block to help you start to sit up. You can take a hold of your thighs as you sit up and bring your body upward. We'll find something to sit on, so you can use a block, you can use a rolled up towel, whatever works. But in the continuation of shoulder exploration, we will find ourselves seated. Take a moment to notice what foot you cross in front naturally. And then inhale your arms, both arms, up and overhead. And with your exhale, take your left hand to your right wrist, extend up, and lean to the left. This is a little bit of a cat-cow type motion, but it's more in the upper back. As you inhale, you'll arch your chest a bit forward. And as you exhale, you'll hollow the low ribs back. So it'll change the expression of stretch along the right side line as you arc and round. So be willing to explore that, and if there's a spot that feels really interesting, we'll stay in it. Even if it's not fully one direction or the other. Take one more breath in. With your exhale, let your left hand come down. Reach the right arm freely overhead. Deep and full breath in. And with your exhale, bring the right hand to the left knee or thigh. Slide your left hand behind your back and take a moment to get really tall. Breathe in. And as you exhale, you can press the hand into the thigh or knee, whatever you're holding on to, and turn yourself to look over to the left. Over the left shoulder. And breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale up through center, arms go high. Take your right hand to your left wrist as you exhale. You'll lean in your second direction. All right. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Before you initiate that arching and rounding on this side, check in with your pelvis and make sure that your bum is really grounded from right to left. So if you're noticing that your prop isn't even or you need to shift it, take a moment and do that. Then play with the arch as you inhale and the round as you exhale. Exploring the spaces around the straight line that we're often looking for. Breathing in and breathing out. Remember that if there's a spot that feels good, you can pause there. Even if I've already moved on, you can stay a little longer. When you're ready to transition, you'll take a breath in. Let the right hand come down to the floor, reach a little farther over to the right overhead. Breath in, getting longer through the left side line. And with your exhale, your left hand will find your right thigh. Your right hand will come behind you, turning to the right as you do. Get tall as you breathe in. And rotate as you breathe out. You can use the hand-on thigh connection to help you leverage your twist. If your chest is feeling like it's in the way, let your upper arm come underneath it to help you turn. Breathe in, getting tall. And just looking to the right to the degree that it feels okay. One more breath in. One more breath out. Okay. This time, inhale, your arms go up. And exhale your hands to center. Before we pause and meditate, change the cross of your ankles, just so the other leg gets a little bit of a preference or an awareness brought to it. Drop your chin to your chest and set your mind to whatever it is that gets you to your practice. Honoring that part of yourself that seeks to follow through on your intentions. Honoring that part of yourself that creates intentions. Honoring yourself for being present. On an inhale, let your arms sweep up overhead. And as you exhale, you'll find cactus-shaped arms. Now, keeping the bend in your elbows, just let your upper body turn from side to side. You can do this pretty quickly. You can do it relatively slowly. And if there's something going on in your shoulders or arms where it would feel better to have your hands resting on your shoulders, just let your elbows be out, even if your hands aren't up. If your elbows need to drop a little bit, that's okay. Just make sure it's a conscious choice. Let your breath come in. And your breath go out. And breath in. And a breath out. Oftentimes in vinyasa style yogas, we link our breath up with our movement because that can become quite meditative. But after a while of that practice, the mind has a hard time just letting the breath be long and steady. So here we'll practice a long and steady breathing in through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth, whatever feels like the best bet in the moment. And breathe out. The next time you exhale, pause in whatever direction you're facing. So for me, that's my left, but it could be your right. We're going to do both sides, of course. Pause here, take a breath in. And with your exhale, try to shrug your shoulder blades towards one another and notice if that helps you turn a little more. You can put your hands on your shoulders to help, if that's helpful, or just focus on snugging the shoulder blades towards one another. Take a breath in here. And another full breath out. And we'll start the rocking again, or the twisting. Just enough to notice anything that's different now that you've held for a moment on one side. And when you've had a moment to notice, you'll switch sides. So here on an exhale, I found my second side. Take a breath in. And try to shrug the shoulder blades towards one another. Breath in. And breath out. Inhaling. And exhaling. One more full breath in. And out. Back through center just to release it. Take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. And we'll release the hands down. 3 breaths just to notice all the activation and sensation that's taking place in the shoulders and upper back. Let your breath be steady. And allow your mind to observe. And take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. Breath in, and breath out. When you feel complete with the sitting and also when you felt that the shoulders have settled, come into table and set yourself up for a more traditional round of cat-cows. You can set yourself up with something underneath your knees like a towel, or if you have more narrow blocks, sometimes I use those because they are soft foam. Just let the knees be comfortable as you come into table. You can be on flat palms or fists, arching as you inhale and rounding as you exhale. Let your breath flow as it moves. And you can take a traditional cat-cow, or you can start to accentuate the shoulders, bending or sort of settling into the shoulders on your inhale. And with your exhale, shrug them back, then round. Inhaling to settle, draw back, heart lifts. Exhaling to extend out. Whatever movement cycle, give yourself 2 or 3 more passes. Next time you feel complete, if you have a block, set it between your heels. You'll set back or sit back on your heels. grab a hold of your strap. Turn slightly towards you. You'll bring your strap into your arms so that your arms can find a comfortable distance apart, such that if you were inclined, your arms could move evenly back and down, space permitting. Now, if that doesn't work on a shoulder injury, you just pause at the place that makes sense for your body. Maybe that's just lifting up and overhead and drawing the shoulder blades together. Maybe that's letting the arms come slightly back, but that's it. Shoulders are really sensitive joints, so you want to make sure that you're tending to any discomfort as a means to listening to your body rather than waiting for it to scream at you to stop. We'll add this motion in to another motion. So the next time you inhale your arms up, lift your hips up. And the next time you exhale, settle your hips down, let the strap come forward. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the strap. Taking it as far back as you like, your heart gently lifts. Exhale, settle the hips, bring the hands back down. Twice more, inhaling up. Exhaling back. Up as you breathe in. And down as you breathe out. Now this time we'll add from the movement up. So on your inhale, lift your arms. Settle instead of in a back bend with the arms stacked over the hips and the shoulders stacked over the hips as well. You'll anchor through the left knee and step the right foot forward. Here, you'll bend the right knee to stack over the right heel. Lift your chest up. And with your exhale, you'll straighten the right leg. Fold the strap down to the degree that you can. If that means you're up here or looking for blocks, that's great. But we'll add that motion in a few times. Inhale to bend the knee, lift the arms. You can keep some pressure in the strap pulling apart. Exhale, straighten the right leg, hinge from the hips. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Here, set the strap down for a moment and you can fold to the place that feels appropriate in your body. If that means you're grabbing for blocks, that's great. That's a good way of listening to the body. And take a breath in, and as you inhale, try to let your bum go back and your chest lengthen forward, even if that brings you up out of your fold. You can exhale to fold a little deeper. Here, press through the top of your back foot. Stand tall with your shoulders over your hips. You can use a wall or blocks or whatever you have, but we're looking for a little bit of hip flexor strength to lift the right leg up. Now, I hope you can see this with the strap here. I'll just move the strap out of the way. You can press down into something or try to use the hip flexor strength to float the right foot up off the ground. Notice if you start to round in your back. That's a common tendency. I have it too, especially with the baby in the belly. Take a breath in. Use your exhale to hug in some strength. Lift the right leg, bend the right knee, and tap the right knee beside the left. You can reach your hands forward and down to catch your strap and come into table for just a moment, giving the hips a gentle sway. Then we'll use the same strength. Grab the strap, inhale your arms up. If it works in your body as you exhale, shift the hips back to the block and the arms behind you. Inhale, arms up, hips up, chest lifts. Exhale, bring the strap back down towards your lap, and if you need to move props, you can. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, lifting up, arms and hips and heart. Exhale, lower, hips to heels, hands towards thighs. Inhaling up. Exhaling slowly down. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. This time as you inhale up, let your arms go high. Stack the arms, ribs, shoulders, hips, and knees all in one straight line. And if there is a block between your heels, for a moment you can hug it in, and that helps you find the center line so that when you lean the weight into your right knee and bring the left foot forward, it's a little bit more stable if you can connect to that sense of drawing in. Once your left foot moves forward, if you need to nudge it farther, do. Let your inhale lift your heart up, press into the strap. And with your exhale, turn your left toes up, shift your hips back, and gently fold. Inhale to bend in the left knee, take the arms high. Exhale, shifting hips back and folding. Take a few more. If you get lost in the rhythm, that's great. If you need the 3 counting down for comfort, that's also fine. Learning what you need is part of the practice. Observing how it changes from day to day. Physical postures, what your mind and body need. This next time you exhale, pause with the hands down. You can set the strap down and grab a hold of blocks if they're useful. Maybe you stay low. Maybe you lift up a bit, looking for that sense of length so that your hips are level, your side body is even, and your chest is reaching forward. Deep breath in, hinging from the hips as you breathe out. Now you can stay low and root into blocks and flirt with lifting the left leg up. You can come higher and maybe use some support with a block, with a chair or a wall, and float the left leg up. If you're feeling feisty, let your hands rest on your hips, and without any extra support, find that little sense of lift, breathing in. And with an exhale, you'll tap the left knee down, hopefully without tripping on your own blocks, and shift your hips to your thighs or your heels. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Okay. Take a moment to slide your props out of the way. You can set your strap towards the top of your mat. And from where you are, if there's something under your bum, take it out. We're coming into downward dog, but we'll set it up slowly from table. You can walk your hands a few inches forward of a traditional table so that your hands are more forward than your shoulders. You'll bend in your elbows, let your upper arm bones wrap in. And you can do this a few times, extending the arms and noticing if you kind of sink back into your upper arms or shoulders. Bend the elbows, wrap them in, re-extend through the arms, keeping strength in the upper back. And when you have the sense that you're able to wrap your armpit or wrap your upper arm bones in, which engages the armpit muscles, curl your toes under, lift your hips, and downward dog it is. You can do the same bit of bending and hugging in down dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Now, if this doesn't work for you in down dog, you can always set your left knee back down, but you'll extend your right leg up if that's okay. Roll the right hip open on top of the left. And again, this can happen from down here, if that's a better bet in your body. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, extend the right leg so it's nice and long. As you exhale, you'll bend the right knee, step the right foot forward to the outside edge of your right hand. And now you will want to bring your left knee down for lizard lunge. I often find that extra cushion is needed, especially because of where we're going. So you can fold up the towel again or set your left knee on a block. You'll be coming forward, but you're gonna grab hold of your strap. So I'm just gonna try to highlight all the possible cushion options here, because you don't wanna feel any pressure or pain in your left knee. You'll be bending into the right knee to shift the weight more towards the front line of the left thigh, rather than the kneecap itself. But you'll bend your left knee and maybe wrap your strap around your left foot. Now you're welcome to use your hand on a wall or a chair to help stabilize. If it feels okay through your quad and your shoulders, you can take both hands to the tails of the strap and just walk them down. There's a moment where the rib cage tries to pull forward, like that subtle bend we were playing with in our side body earlier. You can draw it gently back so there's support and let your hips come forward. We'll be here for 3 or 4 breaths. If this doesn't feel accessible, you can also bring your hands down to the floor and just hug the knee or the heel in towards your bum. Even if you don't get very far, play with the shape at the place where it feels like play, which is to say, where you can meet your body and the shape with a little hint of curiosity. Take a breath in and then a breath out. When it's time to release, you'll unhook the strap, set it again towards the top of your mouth, and bring both hands down to the inside edge of the right foot. Curl the back toes under, get strong through the back leg, and as you're here with the back leg lifted, take a gentle rock forward and back, just reintegrating through the back leg. Turning it back on a little bit, noticing where you're feeling stretch, activation, sensation. Take a breath in. And on an exhale, you'll step the left foot to the outside edge of your left hand, so you're in a wider legged forward fold at the top of your mat. You can give your hips a gentle sway from side to side or find blocks underneath your hands. Take a deep breath in to find some length in your spine. And with your exhale, fold. This time as you inhale, bend in your knees, coil your way up, using the inhale to fill up and lift. You'll take your arms up overhead, breathe in. And on your exhale, bring your hands to center. Okay. I'm just gonna shift the block out of the way. So let your weight come into your right foot. And with your hands at center chest, step your left foot somewhere onto your right thigh. It could be your calf, actually, anywhere on your right leg, calf, thigh, or even tapping to the toes to the floor. Okay. And take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, if you can, take your arms up overhead. And if you feel like you're falling, that's okay. Feel it, be with it as it happens, and come back. You can stay right here, or take your left hand to your right wrist and gently side bend towards the bent, lifted knee. And again, you might fall, that's totally fine. But you might not, you might balance. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. When you do feel like you're falling, let your left foot come down, cross it in front of your right, and take a big swooping circle into a cross-legged forward fold. We'll take a few of these. You can interlace your hands in any way that makes sense. You'll sweep your arms up, reach your palms up. And as you exhale, you'll side body roll your way down. And again, you might fall down. So you can have blocks handy if you're feeling folly, or you can bend your knees. Inhale your arms up. Exhale and releasing the left arms down, the arms to the left and down. You can take a few more circles or pause at the bottom. Taking a deep breath in. And a full breath out. You can sway your hips here from side to side. When you feel done, let your left foot come a smidge farther forward. Bend in your knees, lengthen your spine so your hands can touch the floor. If they don't, put them on blocks. As you exhale, keep your left foot forward, step your right foot back, and you'll set your left knee and foot down into pigeon, walking the right leg back and coming onto the left outside shin. Now, if pigeon doesn't work for you, figure four is a better choice, and I'll showcase that in just a moment. But in your pigeon pose, you can drop down to your elbows, but play in your elbows, which is to say play in your shoulders. So you can press back by pressing into your forearms, a little bit more activation towards your pelvis, but it keeps integration towards the shoulders. Now, if pigeon doesn't work in your body, take the seated version of figure four today with your hands behind your back and your left ankle crossed over your right thigh. You can pause and just lift your chest up, which is often enough. Some folks prefer to play with a sort of rocking sensation. Wherever you are, let your breath find a sense of slow and steady ease. Breathing in and breathing out. When you feel complete from figure four, you'll uncross your left ankle, slide your feet behind you and come towards table or downward dog straight away. From pigeon, curl your right toes, your back toes under. Step yourself back into down dog or three-legged dog. And we'll set up the second side. So if you're coming straight into three-legged dog, the left leg lifts. Roll open. You can take a few circles after pigeon, it might feel nice. When you're ready to move, inhale the left leg high, then bend as you exhale to step the left foot forward. You'll tap the right knee down, and if it needs to be on a block or a whole towel ball, get it. Get the cushion you need, and grab a hold of your strap. Let the left foot go wide to the left edge of your mat. Maybe you pause upright in this wider lunge just to notice what you're feeling first. Taking a breath in and a breath out. When you're ready to go, you might hook the strap over around your right ankle and just hook it so it rests over your shoulder for a moment while you're preparing. Eventually, you'll bend your right knee, but you want to take care that you're not pressing into your patella, the kneecap itself. You want to be just above it. Once you find that spot, you can hold the strap with two hands. You can hold the strap with one hand. You can hold the strap with no hands and bring your hands to the floor, whatever works best for you. Find what's working for you and let it feel like you're just constantly checking in with yourself. Hi, body, how are you here? Oh, that's interesting. This feels a little bit different. And it's a conversation that you're having with your body and the shape. Breathing in and breathing out. Allowing the breath to come in and allowing the breath to go out. One more inhale. When you're ready to be done, you'll exhale and set the strap down. Wherever it goes is fine. I think we're done with it for now. Curl your right toes under, so that ought to be your back leg. You can move the block out of the way and just take an active lizard. Shifting a little bit forward and back, really getting strong through the back leg. Allowing the breath to come in. And the breath to go out. The next time you're prepping for your exhale, you'll step your right foot to the outside edge of your right hand. Lengthen as you inhale. And fold as you exhale. Inhale all the way up to stand, arms overhead. Exhale your hands to center. Toe heel your feet in so that the left leg is right underneath your left hip. And guide your right foot into your version of tree today. So your right knee is going out to the right. You can let your hands rest on your hips. If you need the support of a wall, take it. Try to let your breath steady. And then you can focus one piece at a time, from the grounding in your left foot to the openness of the right knee. Breathing in and breathing out. As you're here, maybe you stay, maybe your arms go up. If you feel inclined to move towards the side bend, you'll take a hold of your right wrist with your left hand, reach up and over. Allowing the breath to come in and the breath to go out. Balance can feel like a tentative thing, so find the steadiness of something, whether it's the breath or the standing leg. Breathe in and breathe out. When you're ready to be done, let your right foot cross in front of your left foot, bend in your knees. Let your arms sweep over to the right and down. You'll interlace them at the bottom. Sweep up and to the left. As you inhale, your arms come high, press up. And as you exhale, sweep to the right. Inhaling up into the left. Exhaling down and to the right. You can take one or two more. You can pause at the bottom. At the bottom, softly bend in your knees. You can sway your hips from side to side, or walk your hands from one side to the other. And take a breath in and a breath out. When you feel complete here with this cross-legged position, walk your hands forward, bend your knees so that your weight can shift more into your hands. You'll set your right knee down and step your left foot back for pigeon on the second side. Now as you shift, if pigeon is not going to work, you know what to do. You'll come into figure four. Breathe in and breathe out. It might feel great to stay upright. You can bring your elbows to the floor. If you bring your elbows down, play with pressing the floor away and helping to shift the weight back into your hips by the force of strength in the arms. And of course, if you need to, figure four is the option. The right ankle would cross over the left thigh. Hands behind your back, looking for a sense of uplift. And we'll breathe in and out. Let your breath come in and your breath go out. You can stay in your figure four or your pigeon shape as long as you like. It's a very lovely pose. But we're going to set up Stairway to Heaven next. So from pigeon, you could step back to downward dog and then sit down. From figure four, just uncross your right ankle and sit up for a moment to find the props that you'd like. So let me drag this into the more lit side of the room. So you can use a block and a bolster, many blocks and some pillows, but the idea is to create a ramp shape so that your head is higher than your hips and higher than your heart. And it's lifting up from hips to heart to head. Now, some folks really appreciate butterfly feet in this shape. You can bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out to the side first. Maybe putting blocks underneath the knees or the thighs, whatever really works for you. Get tall as you breathe in. As you exhale, you can put your hands on the bolster or the support and slowly coil back. Now, as you come back, you might need to adjust so that your low back is comfortable and so that your chin is ever so slightly moving towards your chest. If you find that your elbows are floating, you can grab towels or blankets and set them underneath. This is a nice way to relax the shoulders, even if it seems like a dalliance or like an unnecessary add-on. Creating these little bits of support that seem extra. Can make all the difference in allowing the muscles to soften because they feel supported. Once your shoulders have relaxed, you can turn your head to one side and pause there for 10 or 15 breaths. And just giving your neck a gentle release. And when you've made it through your 10 breaths, or you just feel complete, you can pass through center and then switch sides. When you feel complete from right to left in your neck, pause and center. You can choose to stay right here and make this your final resting pose. Maybe your legs stay as they are, maybe they extend. If it will feel more restful in your body to be flat on the ground, in a traditional Shavasana with the arms out and the legs out, sort of between a starfish and a snow angel prep pose. You can find your variation of Shavasana now. Wherever you go, take care to adjust so that it can be restful. Even if that means adding a little bit more cushion or changing something. If final rest is always very peaceful for you, great, stay with that. If final rest and getting to that place of easefulness can feel challenging for you in your body or in your mind, let your breath find its natural rhythm and set your mind on just observing the sensation that comes along with it. If you have the space and time to stay in final rest a little longer, please do. If you're ready to come out, take a deep breath in. And from wherever you are, bring the soles of your feet to the ground. Take a moment to adjust here. If you're flat on your back, you can press your feet into the floor to help you roll to your side. If your back is still resting on a ramp, take a breath in and a breath out. We'll move to seated or upright together. If you're on a ramp, you can press down into your elbows or take a hold of your legs, whatever feels like the path of least resistance. And we'll come to a tall seat. You can sit with a block underneath your hips or easy seat with your legs out or knees forward. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale your arms up and overhead. With your exhale, let your palms touch, thumbs come down to center chest. Gathering the energy and the awareness of the practice that we've just shared. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, sweeping out and up, noticing what's changed through the shoulders. Exhale, hands back down. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. This time, as your thumbs land on your chest, give yourself a gentle bow of acknowledgement. Honoring your body for participating, honoring your mind for staying the course, and for listening. We'll give a gentle bow to each other in this community that we've had on our Thursday evening class. May all beings be peaceful. Thank you so much for sharing practice.